Basically, when you get something done, a tool or something tells you that, hey, I did the job, here are the results. So you can use them and so on and so forth. But the problem is that, can you trust these results? Are they really what you have expected or not?
Human in the loop. This is not something that Tandem invented. This is like what we are basing the technology on. How do we make sure that the expert inside is actually the right person to do the task? Most people are talking about AI agents replacing humans, but the team behind Tandem is building something different, a system where AI and human experts work together on a task, and you pay only for the result. And today I'm going to talk to a mastermind behind it, Slava Zhukov, ML team lead at Toloka. He built the brain of Tandem, the orchestrator that decides whether your task needs AI, a human, or both, and the model that tells you upfront what it should cost. So, Slava, thank you for being
Hi, everyone.
around. Hi,
Happy to
thank
be
you.
here.
Yeah, there is really so much I want to talk to you about since you've been with Tandem for quite some time. So let's just deep dive into it.
Yeah, let's dive, and I'll be happy to share some thoughts and details of how it works. Hopefully, maybe it will be relevant to someone else as well, because we found a lot of interesting things while building the orchestrator and actually getting things done using both AI and humans. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but maybe for those who are just like starting to understand what is Tandem, maybe you can give us a little debrief, Tandem 101. What is the simplest way you could explain what Tandem does?
I would say that that's a service that gets tasks done, and that pretty much sums it up like completely. It's different from regular tools that you might be using like Cowork or ChatGPT or something, because while they help a lot, they do not actually guarantee that you can solve any task, because there are many peculiarities, in different domains like design or mathematics and so on and so forth. And on the other hand, it's different from, for example, freelance platforms, because you do not have to manage your freelancers, discuss the price, the scope, and organize the workflow in general, and so on and so forth. And that's what Tandem is. You just give it a task and it solves it. It delivers a result of high quality.
And if you would lift a little bit the curtain, what's inside Tandem that enables it to actually solve any task, as you say? Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So that's not something completely new that we have invented. We have seen advantages of using AI, and I bet many people have seen it, and many people are already using one AI tool or another. And we also understand the advantages of actually asking humans sometimes and acquiring their input and their work. So we decided to mix these two, and leveraging both of these approaches, get kind of a result of the highest quality and the best possible speed as we can, and so on and so forth. The only problem is that it requires some kind of orchestration, basically. So some kind of management mechanism that will oversee this whole process and actually produce this result using AIs and humans basically as tools.
So what I hear you're saying is that AI and human are working together through the orchestrator. So that means something inside the orchestrator needs to decide whether the tasks should be solved by AI, by human, or by both. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. This is actually very deep topic, and it becomes more and more relevant not from now on. It's kind of an evolving research area as well. There are very interesting papers dedicated to things like learning to ask. So an agent have to understand like when it's time to kind of stop and probably ask a user who oversees this agent what it does. And the same goes to orchestrator. So we should have a certain mechanism that will decide, that will help it understand which task is possible to give to an AI, and AI can complete it successfully, at least, with high probability, for example, 95%. Or, for example, if AI cannot complete it successfully and has probability of success, let's say 67%, then orchestrator have to understand that, and it has to do something about it. For example, it can perform a QA cycle after getting this result and see whether it was successful or not.
And for those who are not familiar with the term QA
Yeah.
filtering. Can you just maybe expand on that a bit?
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, when you get something done, it's great that someone, I don't know, some tool or something tells you that, hey, I did the job, here are the results. So you can use them and so on and so forth. But the problem is that, can you trust these results actually? Are they like really good? Are they really what you had expected or not? And for that, you have to, well, before you used to manually assess these results and understand that, okay, this one is good, this one is bad, and you have to contact your freelancer, for example, saying that we didn't agree upon that, you have to redo it, and so on and so forth. The same goes to AI. We've seen it multiple times. That's how basically current AI works, right? You give it a prompt, it does something, you say, no, man, that's not what I wanted. Please please do it in another way. And it does. And you continue working in this loop for a while until you finally get a good result, or eventually don't, because yeah, the model is just incapable of achieving what you're asking it to do. So the answer to this question is basically having a mechanism that will allow you to assess these results somehow, either automatically. So that's called an LLM QA thing. It's quite popular among research community, among basically big companies. So it's quite cheap and easy to implement. We ask another model to assess the quality of a certain result and see what it tells. Of course, it has some drawbacks and it's not 100% correct as well. It has certain accuracy, like you have to QA the QA model as well. This loop continues indefinitely, basically. And so we also have a human QA thing where we ask actually humans to assess these results and understand whether they are good or not. And combining these two, we can get kind of the best quality when we need it and the best speed when we need kind of another thing, right?
Yeah. So now you're touching upon something called, I guess, human in the loop, HITL concept, right? This is not something that Tandem invented. This is like what we are basing the technology on. And I see that lots of companies, they're kind of seeing human as a crutch and going the direction of eliminating the human from the AI workflow. And Tandem goes actually the other way and tries to put the human inside by actually adding the expertise and validating, vetting this expertise. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. The problem
So
is
my
that, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, you can start with the problem. I wanted to start with the question. How do we make sure that the expert inside is actually the right person to do the task?
Yeah, that's basically the crucial question behind the orchestrator thing. So it has to understand that, well, first of all, yeah, my problem that I wanted to tell about. If we take AI, if we take humans, they have certain capabilities, they have certain kind of attributes, characteristics of how they do tasks. And we see that while AI is getting better and better every month, basically, there are certain domains, there are certain problems that are still kind of out of scope for current AI models. It's not only about domains, it's also about kind of the ideas behind certain tasks, behind nuances of a context that a model should have, and so on and so forth. So there are some things that AI do really well. And yeah, that's a great tool. We can leverage it, use it, amazing. But it has some drawbacks, and we can ask humans here. We can actually get this kind of oversight. We can get this taste of a human person. For example, if you want to write an article for your, let's say, blog post to promote your SEO content, right? You can easily do it with AI, but most people can easily spot AI-generated text, even if you will try to remove all the patterns, like these long dashes, for example, and replace them with hyphens. There are still certain words, certain collocations that AIs use a lot, and many people can tell that it's AI generated. And I'm really sure that search engines also can understand it as well, and they can impose certain restrictions on your website, on your, for example, blog, if you keep posting this AI generated slop, basically. And so here you have to have a human touch, a person that will read it and actually say that, well, this looks kind of AI. We have to rewrite here, here, and here, for example. And you cannot eliminate it in the closest future, I would say. We just recently got a model that finally could answer, this question like I'm 50 meters away from a car washing station, right? Should I drive there or should I go there? And people before Fable 5 told you that you have to walk there because it's just 50 meters. You don't need a car to get there. But it loses the whole point, right? And this problem of kind of nuances in your context, they increase if your context grows. If you have a big problem at stake, if you have many interacting parts in it, for example, you are developing, I don't know, a good landing page. You have to have good design, good copywriting. You have to have kind of an optimized code to do so. Basically, you have to have some product vision because landing pages have to have like call to actions, some FAQ sections, and so on and so forth. And that's why we finally came up basically with this orchestrating mechanism that can break down a complicated task into parts that can be executed in the best kind of optimized sense of time and quality by some AI tools and humans. But for that, you have to understand the capabilities. You have to understand like what AI can do, what humans can do, and so on and so forth.
And in this scenario, if I understand correctly, heavy lifting is done by our orchestrator. It decides how to break the task into subtasks, which expert to assign, what are the deliverables should be. But what is then left to our user to decide? Like what is expected from a user that comes to Tandem with a request with a task?
Well, basically we left the user the actual kind of the most important user interaction, just give their input and understand their task scope. That's what the user should provide, what they want to achieve, what results they want to get. And that's it. It also addresses the problem that many freelance platforms has, right? Because you have a task, but you also have to choose a freelancer. You have to understand the price, like how much to pay them. You have to discuss everything. You have to manage time. You have to basically perform a quality assurance after that when you get results, because they may just, send you something AI generated. It's pretty common right now. So we take it off from the clients and we ask them only to provide what they actually want to do. We help them to understand and to decide the scope. And after that, we perform all our magic under the hood, taking the scope, breaking it down into kind of in a certain budget, breaking it down into components that could involve like AI execution, human execution, quality assurance sessions, and so on and so forth. And yeah, guaranteeing the high quality result.
That sounds really cool that any kind of user, from what I see, can come with a task and submit it to Tandem. We don't require any technical background, any domain expertise, or any prompting skill. Basically just like come up with a vision, your North Star, like what you need to be done, and then Tandem just takes it off your plate. But then you mentioned one interesting part, which is the pricing. So Tandem is different from other tools by choosing not to go the subscription model, at least not yet, but actually charging per task. What is the thought process behind it? Can you maybe talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. That's quite an interesting story actually, because when you're working with AI tools, you already probably get used to paying like on your while you are going, while AI is executing something, and you can quite quickly hit your token limits and see yourself sitting and waiting for several hours until your token limits refresh and you can start like going forward again. And your agent may just, stuck in an infinite loop trying to understand or fix something, and you will be just wasting tokens and so on and so forth. On the other hand, in freelance platforms, you're usually discussing this price thing with the freelancers. So you want to pay less, they want to get more money. That's just a market behavior. That's completely okay. But that's something that you also have to think about. And we got kind of similar feedback from our early users that it wasn't very clear how much will a task cost, because we used the same mechanism as AI tools did. So we charged our users based on kind of a post-paid way, executing their tasks, and then only after saying them how much it actually was. And so we decided to reverse this one and actually start predicting the price and understanding the price how much money we will need to deliver the quality results to the client. And we build this estimator. That's kind of a classic, let's say, classic application of machine learning, where we have actually several models helping us to estimate the price, the actual price that will be both kind of related to current market prices and also cover our costs that we spend for AI execution, that we actually pay our human experts and so on. And we bill it. It runs on your task scope. So if you have the same task scope, you will get the same price. If you want, for example, more records in your lead list, then you will have to pay more. If you need to write an article, then you have to pay less. So basically, we just assess the task scope that you are given to us.
And maybe
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot kind of show a lot of details inside it,
yeah,
of
of
course,
course, of
but
course, of
yeah.
course. No, no worries. But like for those who haven't tried yet Tandem, but like curious how much it might cost, do you have like maybe top of mind some approximate numbers, like for different types of task, what could be the price range?
Yeah, it really depends on your task scope. If you have something very simple, I don't know, for example, make a quick research on the internet, gather several papers and so on, you might be paying from several bucks to, I believe, like $20. If you want to write an article, that could be a little bit more, maybe like $40, $50. And you can create logos, you can create, yeah, for the same price. If you want to build something a bit more complicated, that will require much more steps, right? And handling of resources, artifacts, and files, and so on, and all this orchestration thing. Yeah, it might be up to several hundreds of dollars usually. So we have
Yeah.
seen tasks actually going through Tandem that cost like $200, $300, $500. These are quite big tasks that usually take some time, maybe like 1 day or 2 days. And yeah, but I'm happy that we got kind of positive feedback while executing these tasks. So
Yeah, and
that's a
it's
great feeling that you did something useful for people.
yeah, no, absolutely. Because it sounds like if you would hire a freelancer to do something like that, you would still spend as much time, if not much longer, to find and hire and to manage and to brief and to debrief and all of that. And then the cost also would be higher because there is also platform fee and the cost that is like on the market. So we are actually make it still faster than normal process would be and cheaper because the AI also helps to speed up the process and save some costs in the process.
Right, exactly. And we take this pain away from our customers. They don't have to manage, they don't have to choose freelancers. We do it on our own. We have our internal expert finding mechanisms, kind of special matching and so on and so forth. A lot of machine learning stuff, but still it works. And we can find relevant experts that can execute this task with high quality. So we take this
Yeah.
pain away. Of course, we have some margin, but it's still much faster because we also understand when to use humans and when to use AI. It's also much faster, and we have higher quality than AI tools and higher quality, at least in many cases, than freelance platforms. We have some white paper published early this year. I bet some metrics there changed, but rough idea is the same.
I think talking about this topic is actually really challenging because the concept of human doing stuff together with AI inside the platform is kind of newish, I would say, on the market. And so probably it also has quite some challenges for you as the engineer behind it. Could you share maybe as top of mind biggest challenging aspects that you encounter on your daily basis?
Well, yeah, I agree that this topic is quite new for the whole industry. It's not entirely new for research community, and there are many experiments already conducted about kind of mixing AI and humans. There are different ways of doing so, actually, because you can kind of have AI and human working together on the same task and just interacting with each other, or you can have them working like one after another, giving them some smaller jobs. It's not that simple because it was found that, and we also found it as well, that on certain tasks, this combination can actually slow down the process while maybe maintaining a high quality, but the speed can go really down, even compared like to working, even if just an expert will be working. If you give a task to a freelancer, so they will do it faster than the combination of AI and human. So that's not very simple. Yeah, because it's like working together with another person on a task. You have to share context. You have to explain them. So, for example, AI have to explain a person like what they did, what they found, why this approach works and this one doesn't work, and so on. And the human have to explain the same back to the agent. And so a lot of time is spent into this communication, to this interaction. It's not really good for kind of speed, first of all. So some tasks really kind of simpler to give just to one actor to do and gain some outputs from them and orchestrate the flow of these outputs, basically this data flow of artifacts in a certain task.
Yeah. It means that we are trying to redefine what getting work done actually looks like, right? Because it's not just done by AI or not just done by human, not just done by two humans, not just like done by a bunch of AI, but like a combination of it all. And do you have maybe a prediction for what this concept looks like in 2-3 years from now?
Well, I definitely do have certain predictions. First of all, we see that models are really getting better and better in orchestrating, so they can break down tasks into subtasks and understand the execution and interactions of kind of smaller execution components. That's where agents are getting better today. And they will get even better in the future. I'm quite sure in it because that's very important for delivering, for example, big features if you are developing something, if you're coding something. Second, there are certain areas where AI performs really well. And these areas, these domains, basically AI capabilities will increase in the future, but they will definitely not cover like everything. So there still will be certain questions and domains where humans will be the necessity. Basically, you just cannot solve a task without a human there. So there will be quite a shift, I would say, kind of domain shift, some shifts in capabilities, but we will see in this interaction between AI and humans for quite a while. I'm pretty sure in it.
Absolutely sure. And it's also interesting to see like more players entering the market and coming up with their own versions of how this combination of agents and humans might work. But what motivates you personally to stay in this field and to keep building Tandem?
Well, basically, I just like to build really cool, interesting things. So that sums it up pretty much. Because that's quite a new product, that's quite a new approach. Not so many companies are doing that, while many companies understand that that's very important to mix AI and humans, understand AI capabilities, and AI should somehow understand its own capabilities and understand when to escalate to humans and how to break down the work. So it's very interesting kind of research topic, and it's also interesting to build a useful product out of it. We have built a platform that can solve tasks, basically any task from scratch that you give it. I'm kind of really happy about it because I'm using Tendem myself, and it's much easier and sometimes much faster. Sometimes it has much higher quality than just giving it to yet another AI tool, and that's
What
really
is what is your favorite task that you have submitted to Tandem and got like really pumped up about the outputs?
One of my favorite was when I was trying to acquire some high resolution pictures that I can turn into posters in my room, and I couldn't find them on the internet. And I tried to do it with some agents, with some like resolution. There are tools that help you to increase resolution of your pictures, but they didn't work really well, I would say. And I just wanted these high resolution pictures to print as posters. And so I finally decided to give this task to Tandem. That was, back in, I don't know, maybe a year ago or something, when we just were developing Tandem. We had kind of the first or second approach to it. And I was surprised that our experts together with AI were able to do that and actually deliver what I really wanted. And yeah, I was so amazed by that that I kept using it. And now if I have something in mind that I just, don't have time or don't have resource to do, and I don't want to manage my AI tool and tell it like what's wrong and perform this quality assurance thing. I just give it to Tandem and they help me solving this thing. Latest one was when I was looking for places where I can pay my water bills, basically. And Tandem nailed it. They gave me a good list showing in every point on the map closest to my house and explaining like where to go, whom to talk to, and so on and so forth. That's very useful.
Yeah, so it's actually really cool to see that the application in daily life can be both professional for business and stuff, but also for quite personal tasks that you just don't want to spend your own time on that. But the output is really important, and it does require some research and comparing and like human judgment to it. And so yeah, Tandem just nails both cases from what I hear. And also I personally tested it a lot, and now it for me feels like I have a little team of coworkers all the time. So if I have not enough time to execute the work task, I'll just submit it to Tandem. It comes back and it feels like, wow, I don't even need maybe that many teammates to actually do the job.
Yeah, that's kind of another idea that we have in our minds, right? Turning Tandem into a virtual coworker for you, for your team, for example. Yeah, but that's kind of a potential direction. Let's put it that way.
I am really curious to see where this direction will take, because it sounds like, yeah, having a sort of like a invisible teammate always available any time of the day that can just pick it up wherever you left it, and also connect through the interface of Claude or ChatGPT through MCP. That's the latest feature that we've enabled.
Yeah.
It sounds like a dream come true to me, but yeah, we have some way in front of us to make it really clear to users how to benefit from it, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Cool.
There are many companies that offer AI in place right now, but the problem is that they still face these AI limitations. And I like here how we address this problem due to this mix. So that's amazing. And of course, yeah, huge thanks to our colleagues that maintain this basically marketplace of human experts that can solve these tasks. Because without that, we couldn't build the Tandem, of course.
Oh, absolutely. The technology behind it, the team behind it is one of the greatest I've seen. The passion and the creativity of everyone thinking outside of the box is really something stunning, I would say. But yeah, everyone is a little detective here trying to put together different aspects of like the modern technology and how synthesize something completely new out of it. And I think this leads me to like my last question to you. Since I just mentioned detective, I noticed that your handle on Slack also has some reference to it, right? It's like Perry Mason. Is that a detective?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's because I like all these investigation things. It's not exactly a detective, right? That's a lawyer, basically. But actually, my first time when I know about Perry Mason was thanks to Ozzy Osbourne songs under the same name, Perry Mason. And after that, I started kind of looking on the internet, like, who's that guy? And I found this TV series. They're really great, and that's very close to my kind of approach and what I really like to do. So,
Would you
yeah.
recommend it to everyone trying to go deeper into, I don't know, technology investigation and stuff? Do you recommend to watch it?
Well, I would definitely recommend to watch it. I mean, I like it. Why not? However, it of course depends on your preferences, and yeah. But my favorite movie is 12 Angry Men, and that's like 60 years old. And not so many people are ready to watch movies like that.
Totally get you. Like whenever people ask about my music taste, I say Bob Dylan, and they are like, okay, bye. So yeah, old souls. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, on this note, Slava, I think let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for being so transparent and yeah, deep about the questions that we solve at Tandem. Really appreciate your time. And for those who watched, I really encourage you to go and try Tandem. Maybe your task really can be done faster than you think. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Happy to be here.